Welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out. Welcome back, everybody. We are here to finish our weekly conversation during the spooky season as we travel down the Witch's Road. My name is Tamon Kane, and you can find me here on Geeking Out, on Scream Kings, and on all social media platforms. I'm joined with some really great people here tonight. I'm going to pass it to Lucio to do a nice introduction. Lucio, come on down.
Yeah, all right. So I'm Lucio at Lucio Man, basically just on here. I do role-playing games sometimes with other people, but you know, whatever. We're here to talk about horror. With us today is my good friend, one of the top 3 Toms I know. He is a fellow writer. He has a story that came out in in Carpe Noctem this past September, and one coming out in Thursday on Denver Horror Collective's Frontiers of Fright. Southwestern Horror Anthology. Tom, how's it going?
Hello. I'm Thomas C. Mavrudis is my writing name if you look it up, just because Tom Mavrudis is a professional poker player, and that's you got to add in a middle initial to distinguish yourself from other folks. So, but just call me Tom, and I really am excited to geek out with you guys tonight.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you here, Tom. I know horror is one of your favorite areas to talk about, so is mine. So I cannot wait to dig into your brain about some good horror stuff. Of course, we're here with everybody else. Y'all say something to the people. Say, hey, how y'all doing? Where can they find you?
Hey everyone, I'm Ricky Z. You can find me at RickyZ_social on TikTok and Twitter.
Oh yeah,
and I'm Cadence. You can find me on X the Cadence Third World and on Facebook at Cadence Nova Kane.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
You're just too mellow, man. We're like, listless notes.
you know. Just give me a little chill vibe.
Well, surprise everyone. We have been rehearsing the Witch's Road. The Witch's Road. And so tonight we are here to perform. Ricky, this is what you asked for. We're getting ready.
I did not
perform the Ballad of the Witch's Road. So, Cam, you got Agatha in the quiz. So that also means
you got first note.
You need to start the song.
Where's your tuning bell?
Okay.
Dare you?
Nobody wants to do it. That's fine. Well, we're going to begin our road down.
Practice for nothing.
Our journey down the Witch's Road, and start off by doing a little quiz for the witchy season.
But before we get to that, it's whose month? Whose month is it?
It's Agatha all month long.
Yes.
You was do the purple thing.
Thank you. Sorry.
I love it, Ricky. I love it.
I just saw the private chat. My bad.
I got your back.
Tell me. Okay.
I need a better cue than that.
Let's go through our quiz results. And this quiz today was, what is our witchy superpower? What is our special witch ability? Now, y'all probably haven't been keeping up because we haven't this season about our collection of abilities and what we can do so far as a new squad, but we're going to see where we end up. Mm-hmm. So, Tom, I think you should go first. So let's see what we got. Okay. You can disappear and reappear at will. You can do this in different ways. In a puff of smoke, for the drama, or a blink of an eye. All right. You need
all right.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Teleportation number 1. Here we go.
Number 1.
Number 2.
Ricky, check your messages.
Oh, no.
You know, you redid it. Goodbye.
Okay.
Look, why you gotta tell? Okay.
Well, I
this
didn't
is
know what
all-
everyone else got. Surprise.
I mean,
Uh,
this is also a
A
duplicate.
duplicate.
Yes.
Next. Oh,
Yeah.
next.
Yes.
we are a
Yeah.
teleportation coven, okay?
I love that for us. That's our coven's ability to
Look,
transmute.
At least 2 out of the 3 can grab someone else to take them with them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And Lucio,
Mhm.
you have the ability to morph into different people and animals, mythical and real. That was for you. Let your
so you know,
imagination run wild.
this
I
was a
mean-
gif of a guy changing into a pumpkin. I was like, I need maximum pumpkinage on this.
It's so interesting that you can transmute, like a vampire. But
Yeah, werewolf, wolf, bats. We get it.
Pumpkin, just like vampires do.
Yes.
The question is, Lucio, if you could transmutate into anything or anyone, what would you do?
I just mess with people and be like 6 inches taller one day, 6 inches shorter another day.
oh my god.
That's called gaslighting. And
But here's the thing: it's not gaslight because it's actually real.
yes, it is. You know what? When you have centuries of things to do to people, this is what you have left to do. I get it. It makes
I've
Be
done
petty.
everything else, man. That's how it goes.
you
Absolutely
have done
nothing else.
everything else. The
Nothing else.
guillotine, the stock, everything.
Woo.
Wow.
Okay, where would everybody teleport to first?
Um,
Home. The bed.
I think I'm going to teleport to the Maldives.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, get away.
Mm,
Adios.
Someplace warm. Yes.
You feel me?
What about you, Tom? Where would you?
It's funny that the teleportation was my power because I'm actually kind of afraid of teleporting into the wrong thing, like missing my mark and like something bad happening.
That's
Real bad happening.
That's very fair. Have you seen the show called The Magicians?
Yes.
Okay, so Penny, they talked about traveling and how hard that could be. You can have a dream about a volcano and wake up in one. So like,
Right.
that's
Well,
Or
and
you
just
could go to Coven when she ended up on that fence.
yeah.
or like we were just briefly discussing from just before we came on, and there was
yeah, exactly.
where, that
All
dude
right.
That'd be awful. That'd be awful.
that's what I'm worried about. It's that
Because that would be one of the places where you teleported and you would not be able to teleport out at all. You'd be
Not
stuck
even
there.
that, but something happened in this not the most recent episode, but the one before that, where someone attempted to do a form of teleportation and they ended up in a brick wall.
Ooh.
Dead.
Heaven forbid you
I saw
teleport
that
at
photo.
nighttime.
I mean, oh God, that would be awful. I'm from.
Right. Like that's awful. I hate it.
See,
Mm-mm.
it's more like a curse, I think, than a power. Now that
Well,
do it.
speak for yourself.
For yourself. I have runes.
You're going to the Maldives, so it's all good.
No, it's fine. I have runes tattooed
It's
on my
all
hand.
about intention, y'all.
A return to
Intention.
spender spell. I
It's
believe
all
that-
about intention.
But I guess tattoos and runes don't help because it didn't help Alice because she died, and she's supposed to be protected in episode. What was that? 4?
Mhm.
5?
Yeah.
5. No,
Five.
Lucio died episode 2. She died.
I did die in episode 2.
I'm still living.
You are still living. So am I.
Mhm.
And yeah. And because of that, we need to just go into Agatha's breakdown.
Wait, we gotta do who was Ricky's power?
We all got the same thing.
No, we did not.
Oh, I thought you said all of us got it.
No, I said there were some duplicates. I didn't say about me.
Oh,
Okay, she's different.
precognition. You can see
She's not like you other girls.
just sitting top.
I got precognition, very demure. Very cute.
Yeah.
Great.
Did
This
you
is
get a power
great.
like this from one of the other quizzes too?
I mean,
You were
We'll
seer.
just go back from past episodes and
This is
compile our
ridiculous.
skill
Y'all can't
set.
remember your powers.
No, of course not.
Well, I only have 2.
I have so many. I just
I have
Whoa.
2 of the same. They're basically the same one.
But I love that you can see into the future with your second sight. These powerful visions can come in different
Yeah,
forms.
so-
So I can warn you
and dreams.
before y'all teleport into the front
Period.
town.
Yeah.
Period.
So be like, don't do it today. No.
Are you sure you're in a good space to tell?
Right. It's 6:30 p.m. Let's not do it. Okay.
You've been drinking. You want to do that?
Oh, we
that
gotta
would be
drop the
good.
link. We gotta
Oh,
drop
yeah,
the link to the quiz.
All right.
Dinner
I'll
Bear
do
Me.
that.
Oh,
All
also
right.
Heroic Waffles, welcome, new subscriber.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, great.
Love it.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you.
And while
And-
we're on that, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, turn on those
Yes.
notifications, do all the wonderful things. We need you. We
Mhm.
want you. Like, subscribe, and
Notify.
notification.
Notify. Give me a second, y'all. I'll drop that quiz into the chat.
Hold on, Jeremy. We need to hear yours too. So just hold on 1 second, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and keep going while you take the quiz. We are here to talk about right now Agatha All Along, episode
8,
7?
no
7,
7?
8.
7.
Seven.
Seven?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 9 episodes, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
next-
that was
next-
episode 7.
7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one was Familiar by Thy Side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just guessed, but that was right. Okay, I'm trying to find it. I was like, where is it? Where's my list? It's called Familiar by Thy Side. And this episode was, for me, probably the best episode of this season. But I want to hear from everybody else. Tell me what you thought about this episode.
We forgot one thing to Mom.
Oh, the drinking game. We did. Anytime you hear the word or the
Year.
year 2024.
No. This episode was Death's Hand in Mine, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
mhm.
hand in mind. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Anytime you hear the word 2020, the year 2024, make sure you take your drinks or your glasses and take a sip with us. So 2024.
I've already started.
Same. This
Oh, is wine the thing on for the night? I love that.
Yeah.
If by wine you
Yes,
mean
sir.
Shirley Temple.
Wow. You should have
That's-
let the illusion.
That's
drinking
real
iced tea.
precious. That's
Yeah,
that's.
We
I
know
know
that you
it's
glamored
arts
blood
now.
in your cup.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
You glamored the blood, Lucy.
Wait. Is it the new 7-Up Shirley Temple that you can only get at Target?
No, I wish it was. But you know, okay,
made
here's a
it?
question though I had. What would be more embarrassing, Mountain Dew Code Red or a Shirley Temple?
You did
Cold
great.
Red.
You did great. You did absolutely great.
Are you 12?
A code red. What year is this?
Okay.
2003. Okay.
It was.
Oh
We need
man.
2024.
No, wait, hold on. When did Mountain Dew? When did
Get this up.
come out? It's a question.
It's a question.
2001. Lucio, stop it. It's so 2001. Okay, so yes, Ricky, what did you think about this episode, Death's Hand in Mine?
I love the way that they brought in all the connections that Lilia had, and like finally getting some answers about her outbursts that she's been having since the beginning, and connecting like her not her trial, but her
Yeah.
her little throwback in that first trial that we had. We're like, you see her grandmother basically decrepit, and you see like a young version of herself there, and like it's Pia LuPone, and she killed it. And a quote from my daughter was, "Yes, fall gracefully," and I said, "Duh, it's Pia LuPone." Okay, of course, it's Pia LuPone, but she was
Lucio.
great.
Oh, it was by far my favorite episode of the season.
Facts.
It did a lot of. If the rest of the season was half this good, I would just be in love with this show.
Mhm.
And the fact that as the episode went along, like it starts real frenetic, right? Because she's like realizing like we're seeing all her time shifts and how she has to live her life. And then as the episode goes on, it gets more and more contiguous, and everything starts making sense. And they start doing some really great cinematography to work with it, because they get where she says they show someone's silhouette and you're looking at her, and she says, I was falling, and then the camera shifts her over to this side, and she says, I will fall. And I'm like, oh no, I like instantly realized like, oh, this is her episode, and this is gonna be bad, but it's gonna be just glorious.
Yes.
Okay. And
I too follow those same sentiments. It was the best episode of the series.
Yeah.
I too am supreme.
Yeah. It had everything that you needed. It told a story so beautifully, so well. It connected so many different things, like to realize that when she was calling people by tarot names, that she saw them as tarot cards in that moment
Oh my goodness,
Mhm.
so good.
was, I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I don't really have any notes about that episode in particular
yeah.
because it was just perfect from beginning to end. I mean, and even them kind of becoming witches from fairy tales or whatever or just stories that we know and love. I mean, that was cool. It was a beautiful nod.
Mhm.
It was just it was such a fun episode. It was so much fun.
I think there's going to be more meat to eat, to find on that bone when I'm going to revisit that episode for sure. One of the things that struck me was her. Oh man, I just lost it. Yeah, just continue. I'll if I pick it back up. It was a lot. It was a really good episode.
Hmm?
What you got to say?
Oh yeah, you know what? I thought this was probably the best, well-constructed episode this season, as it
Mhm.
relates to how they told the story, the organization of the story. It felt emotionally centered and grounded. It felt like this was Lilia's story from the beginning versus
Mm.
Agatha's. I feel I've been saying this all season long that I don't think that Agatha is meant to be a main character because Lilia in this moment felt stronger and more
Mhm.
important and more centered, like I keep saying, for a lead. And it didn't feel like a huge shift either. It wasn't
Mhm.
whiplash for her to take front and center because
Mhm.
even her small moments in this season, she's been sort of front and center. And I like that
Yeah.
they drew that string together of all of the outbursts, like you said. Cam, you said something I thought was cool about. Wait, Cam or Lucy? No,
What, the
Cam said
tarot cards?
costumes about the costumes.
Costumes.
Mhm.
And when you said that, it made me think about how this this show parallels with Wanda and how Wanda's first couple episodes they were all about changing to different genres and time periods of different television shows. So she got to play with different costumes and things like that. And, you know, they got awards for that, right? They got nominated.
Mhm.
And so I think that this show is the exact same thing. Each of the trials provide that same aesthetic versus each
Mhm.
episode being an outfit or geared towards a certain genre. The trials are geared, and by proxy, they get these different cool outfits and themes. And
Mhm.
so it just made me think about the parallels between and this show and
Mhm.
WandaVision. Jeremy said, beautiful episode, 13 out of 10. Now Lilia's couldn't duck under the table right when she flipped the tower. Would have been nice. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was
Back.
I was hoping she would have pulled herself up or something, magic herself
She's an
up or
older
something.
lady. She's hundreds of years old, man.
I don't care.
Is that all she
Could've
got?
figured it out.
You don't have telekinesis?
You
Could've
could
figured
turn
it out.
out of there. Okay, I do remember. I think so. This was another. Okay, so I had the complaints about. Oh, it's another escape room. It's another escape room. Even from the beginning of this episode with Agatha and the teen in the
Teenager.
room. Not
His full name.
his
The
full
full-
name. That was great.
Oh,
Not an
that was
escape
so
room. Like,
good.
there's already so much emotion in there. You're worried more about the characters than about the space that they're in. Like the space is peril,
Mhm.
but you're worried about this interaction they're having. And as soon as Pat of the Pone character gets in there, I'm like, it was this like the two previous ones, like escape room. Okay, this is ridiculous. This one was like absolutely not that. And I was absolutely in love with this.
I think this one felt the most like a trial.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
the ones that we've gone through necessarily felt like a trial. I mean, the poison one, I mean,
I think
That's
the
a-
first
That
one
was,
was
that was
a
a nice
good
intro
intro.
trial.
That was a good
yeah,
intro.
I mean, but it was just like trial light, you know,
It was
because
training wheels. It was
yeah. But
Yeah.
this
That's
one
fine.
felt like there were real stakes.
Yes.
And you know, even though we knew or we figured this has to be Lilia's trial because teenagers don't know nothing about no tarot cards,
No.
but he up there trying anyway.
Yeah, oh,
And
he's a
like, I guess it's me because we got to continue on. But it was good to know, even though of course if you saw the previews, you knew that it was good to know that they weren't dead, and that's more than likely the reason why the trial even existed because she was not dead yet.
Right. I wonder like their reasoning for having them be the witch characters that they were in that trial. So Lilia as the good witch, or Glinda. Agatha as not necessarily Elphaba, but the Wicked Witch of the West. Who Teen was Maleficent,
Maleficent.
Yeah.
and
From the
then
movies,
yes,
not the Disney cartoons.
right,
To be clear,
and then
and she was Elphaba because she was more collegiate and scholastic in her like costume versus the Wicked Witch.
just yeah,
Wicked Witch.
and then what's her name? Kale was
The Crown.
Yeah, like the
She
crone.
was just
Yeah.
a Wicked Witch. She was just a Wicked Witch from when I
Wait,
looked.
like because it reminded me of the old woman from Snow White.
Snow
that
White.
You
That's
know,
her.
Red Apple. Yeah.
That's her.
So I'm wondering their the reasoning, the rationale for those.
So I saw some theories about that online, and okay, so for Agatha, painting her as a anti-hero or not so much a villain, because if you know Wicked story, Elphaba is not actually the villain of that story. It's a choice she makes,
right?
Really to protect everybody, and so I wonder if that morality thing is a part of Agatha's and why she got that one. It's a better description. Some I just don't remember. I remember the other ones better.
Yeah.
Like for Teen, his was the one from with Angelina Jolie. He talked about the cheekbones, of course. His was the one for Angelina Jolie because her story is all about traumas and overcoming those traumas and beating stigma. I think that's what it was. Oh, being violated.
Yes.
And so that's
okay.
Okay, next is Lilia's.
Lilia's.
Was obviously Galinda. I don't really remember that one.
But I mean, at the heart of it, she was just pure.
Yeah.
She was pure.
And can we just talk about the line, I love being a witch? How that really took me out. I was like deep into this show like that, but that was such, and like you said, Ricky, Patti LuPone is just like,
she killed the role. Honestly,
it's just ridiculous. Like she could have been Agatha, and this probably would have been a different conversation we've been having.
And, you know, I don't know if I could say that. Well, you know, she could be Agatha. It would definitely have a different tone if she was Agatha. And I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. She has the range.
Yeah.
She
does. Oh well, yeah. Duh.
In spades.
Yeah, in spades.
I wrote down. Oh, I'm a huge horror fan. How are we doing?
Glitchum.
Hey, Glitchum, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Yes, welcome.
It looks like Twitch.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get into some horror talk very, very soon. We are tiptoeing.
I wanted one weird, bold change to that episode. The only thing I wanted was the opening credits played at the close of the show and the closing credits played at the opening of the show, just because of how that episode played out.
Oh, because it starts with as these fairy tale creatures, so it'd been cool to see that as the intro.
If you play because the episode ends with Lilia as a child sitting down in the chair and her
that part.
Her mentor going, "Let us begin," and that would have been really cool to play the opening credits there, and also to throw everyone off by playing the closing credits at the beginning.
Do you think that would have spoiled the climax of Lilia's story of her finally getting that, or would it do like the whole episode and just loop?
I think it would have done that, but I think the issue with that is if you do that, like I would have been like, did I play the wrong? Like, why am I watching the end of the episode? I just watched what happened. I think you run into that issue where, like, it's just the same as making the same joke as like, oh, we're gonna release a movie everyone wants under a goofy name, and then like hope that the buzz picks. It's the same kind of goof.
Yeah.
I do want to say about Kale being the crone or Grimhilda, Queen Grimhilda. But in crone form, I think that's clearly because the whole beauty aspect.
Yeah.
I think that was
really
good makeup. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was. Yeah. I was mad at first, like, why she get that?
I was too. Like, why she gotta be a funny, ugly looking?
It makes sense though.
I love it. Yeah.
I wonder if she's the oldest of them. Also, she's like, I mean, she just had that whole beauty care thing. But like, I was wondering if she's the oldest of them. But she also, what did Lilia call her? She says you're the
high priestess.
High priestess.
But
which
that's
is
what she was calling her, the tarot card.
Gorgeous reveal. Loved it. Yeah.
Notes.
High priestess. Right there. I meant to bring that up. Yes, that's exactly. And Cameron, you made me think of that because when she went through she was calling people by their things the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was
That just blew my mind. It just blew
Yeah.
my mind because I was like, oh my God, I see what's happening.
There's a couple scenes where they stitched together her sentence from like.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
If we could play that one thing, that would have been super double. Unfortunately, we
No,
couldn't.
we get in trouble. Yeah. The mouse has no pity.
No.
But what are we expecting moving forward for the last 2 episodes? This is the last week.
Yeah.
On Thursday, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
No, today's
Monday.
Don't do that to me, man. I can't lose the day.
I was really about to say, hold on.
That much closer to payday. Thank you.
All right.
No, I'm okay with things wrapping up, and I hope things wrap up well. There's some talk on Twitter about some fans getting upset that the teen is getting a lot more focus, and it's starting to focus more on him to make it appear that it's going to lead into a show for him, which we know that's going to happen. But I'm okay with that. But also, that's how we got Agatha in the first place.
Yeah.
So
that's how you do backdoor. It's called a backdoor pilot,
right? Essentially, if you haven't been watching from the beginning, this is exactly what this is.
Yeah.
But y'all, it's perfectly okay. I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And if he doesn't get the show, that too will be fine.
That's also fine too.
We still have fun.
Sure. We know what's going on with him. We know we're getting ready for the Young Avengers. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So if you get your show, we get what that's about. I will say this felt like the quality of Marvel that I expect.
Oh, yeah.
That we've seen in the first couple of phases. And I'm not even talking about continuity and weaving shit together.
Yeah.
I'm talking about good filmmaking.
Yeah.
Good
storytelling. Like it's
storytelling. This was the episode. And it's sad that this was episode 7, and this is the first one all like, yes.
It almost makes up for the other 6 episodes. I'm like I understand like building your story, but like if we had like a third of this on the way to this point, like I would have been absolutely so satisfied with this show.
So like I like the first 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes by themselves were a great start. Everything in between is kind of like meh.
Yeah.
The first trial, cool. And this stuff in between, then and now it's kind of meh. But the first 3 episodes were fine.
I've been bitching about tone all season and not balancing horror, comedy, and whatever else this is. This episode wasn't horror, right? It was scary though, but this episode felt the most like intentionally, tonally set correctly for this entire season. It was just great. It was so. Jennifer, my self-preservation queen, is definitely going to survive, and I need her to have a cameo on FaceTime on Billy's show or Young Avengers or something. I think Jennifer is going to live too.
Yeah.
One can hope.
Self-preservation. Oh.
Yes.
Instead of taking, she did not go the subway, and I don't think that would have took her out. I think that would have just probably killed her because you didn't. You need to be with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, what do you think?
They're Tom under the bus. Tom hasn't seen it.
Area.
Everyone in the comments, Tom loves horror, but he doesn't watch this show particularly. So
I like Aubrey Plaza. So
boom.
I would almost watch it just to see her.
You should watch it.
It's a binge-worthy show, not week to week.
Yeah.
You should wait till it ends and then watch it. It's no reward weekly.
Jumping on it.
Yeah.
So my opinion of this episode, Aubrey Plaza's hot. Like
she was great. We got no, that's really good, Tom. She was great because we got a cool reveal this episode that Aubrey Plaza was deaf.
Mm-hmm.
We already knew that.
Officially, we found out that she was, even though we knew
that was in the first beginning.
Yes.
I know you're also a big
Thank you, Funko.
Big Deborah Jo Rupp fan, Tom.
Oh yeah, from that 70s show.
Yeah. Man.
It's worth a watch.
It's definitely just wait till it finishes. So watch it next week. It'll be ready for you on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I do hope that Agatha, to Jeremy's point, I do hope that Agatha does remember what she was told before she got pushed into the thing by Lilia.
Hit the deck. She'll remember that.
Okay, she better hit that deck like nobody's business because she's coming for her.
So don't let death attack you with her powers, so you will absorb them and to die, like you said in the first episode. Unless you don't, and this is the end of Agatha Harkness.
Man, that would be a twist, huh? Oh,
that
man,
would be
that'd
a twist.
be so
She died,
great.
yeah. And it was Agatha
all along,
all month long. She was
all right.
all month long.
I'm hoping for great things for the rest of this season. What we haven't rated episodes in the past since they're all been sort of mid. But just
hey, should Tom watch this show? Mostly mid.
Oh, sorry, Tom, but you still watch it. But 1 out of 5 being a fucking classic, and 1 being the worst thing on TV. Front room. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comments and this panel.
I'm gonna go with 5.
Wow. Okay.
It was a perfect episode.
It was
definitely the best episode of the series.
That is a culmination.
Yeah, I don't have any notes. Honestly, I don't. I'm trying to pick it apart, but I have no notes.
Yeah. This is good.
Phenomenal.
Enough for us to move on.
I was excited to watch that episode.
I'm with Jeremy Veramy, 13 out of 10. So I guess on a scale of 5, it's 6.5. There you
go. Okay. And Ricky, 5 too.
5, yeah.
Okay.
Aubrey Plaza 5.
Plaza 5.
It's a 5.
Of course. And she was great in this episode.
The makeup was great. Loved it. It was
her makeup was great. She had knives. She was sexy and scary. It was just like she did.
And a little funny.
Like only Aubrey Plaza could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I do hope
you just described Aubrey Plaza. So that's right.
I do hope that her and Patti LuPone actually do get to do stuff, because seeing them in these interviews and stuff, they have an amazing chemistry.
Why are they best friends?
They have an insane chemistry.
Aubrey lived with Patti LuPone for a little while.
Yes. It's like it was a link up that I didn't know that I needed, and they talked about doing a live musical for Gypsy, and I'm like the movie version musical of it, and I'm like, I would love to see y'all do that actually. And I hope that all of this press gets them exactly that.
Yeah,
and that's all I gotta say.
I love when she was interviewing Patti LuPone. I think they were doing her hot wing challenge.
Yeah.
She said Madonna shouldn't. This is Kathy LuPone's thoughts, by the way, everyone is watching. Madonna shouldn't be in a movie. She's a movie killer. And she said that a couple of years ago, and I disagree with that because I enjoy Dick Tracy. And so
she does not forgive her for Evita. Okay, that's what it is.
And this movie called Swept Away. But anywho, she was she said either eat the death wing or tell or apologize for what she said. She dead ass looked in the camera, was like, fuck this, and ate this wing. Like, yes, Patti LuPone. Yes.
She's never known to mince her word, that's for sure.
No, about anything. Politics, people, she don't care. She'll tell you exactly how she feels. And I love that.
You know, audience members on their phones, look.
Oh, get off of it.
Right. But you do it in the theater.
All right. I think it's time for a nice commercial break. And when we get back, we can jump into some horror topics.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's just Jim.
Don't bring that up. That's not fair. Do not bring up their relationship.
And he's got children. You would think if anything would pull him out and get him on board, like it would be his kid, but
it don't make no difference.
There are times when his son has more clarity than him. Like when Ethan was in the diner,
exactly.
He's cleaning up. He's like, I got to clean up because this is what Chen would do if she was here. Like he had more in that moment, more on the ball than his daddy. He's a child.
And he even said to Julie, like even their conversation, like too, recalling when they said they might be all that's left. They're gonna have to take care of one another.
Oh yeah.
Because I said, Jim he probably gonna go by the wayside at some point.
That's true. Because Jim went out
The
into
fact
the
that
woods.
Ethan realizes that is crazy. Ethan's so young for him to be like, my dad's losing it and my mom may be dead, so all we got is each other. Wild. That poor child. He's traumatized. First they try to kill him.
His life
Now
is over already. Like let's just make that perfectly clear.
Yeah.
He's screwed. If
He needs
comes out of
therapy.
That is from season 3, our chat every single Wednesday as we talk about from season 3, and it goes down in the show. Tom, what you think?
Liked it.
Yeah, it feels accurate. Like Jim. Jim is pretty accurate. Jim is a shit show.
Oh, I changed my thing because I felt like
I love it. I love it.
Perfect.
It's not a movie.
I love it.
But
I still love it. It's fantastic.
it's thematic. Sorry.
Question
I had to
of the
fix
day
that.
is
That was making me
2024.
nervous.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Yep. Here you go.
Yeah, that's what we need. Take a sip.
Mhm.
You guys are boring, so
Whatever. I'm about halfway through, so screw
that
you.
boring, but that whatever took me out. Okay. All right. So when it comes to horror, I think this is one of those genres that doesn't get the love that it needs. It should definitely be on the Academy's list for awards getting out. Unfortunately, it's not. So I want to pop it off by what makes horror a good horror movie. Excuse me. What makes a good horror movie? Tom, I want to volleyball this to you first to kick us off.
Gosh, I mean, I think I'm just gonna mess everything up and just say I think it depends on who the viewer is, really, because you have your traditional movies with a big sting in the front, and then you have your slow burns. And I think I'm one of those people that it's really difficult for me. I mean, I like both a lot. And I think like just this past year, there were a lot that fit both into that traditional stinger kind of over the top and then the real well-paced, innovative movies. But I think that's something that's just going on in the last decade or the last 10 years anyway, is that there's just a lot of new, refreshing and innovative pieces of that. So that said, I think really like the best element is just really having that that amount of dread. Even in a horror comedy, I think just as long as there is some sense of dread in the story, that's really what makes good horror.
Okay, I agree with that. Lucio, a new fan of the horror genre. What do you think so far makes a good horror movie?
I mean, I'm gonna just speak on more on personal preference. I mean, I think Tom nailed it on the head. It's gonna be a matter of what the personal preference is, because I mean, you guys mentioned Terrorizer. I'm never watching that movie. You guys talk about what is it, Home Invasion? Cannot watch that. Like I already know. I saw part of what was the one that was it was released in another country and then it was re-released in the United States and like it didn't land as well.
Is that the one we were talking about?
Funny Games, something like that. Funny Games.
Funny Games. Yeah, that's
good. I saw portions of that. I was like, this is like exactly like this is like hitting like a lot of things that I cannot deal with.
Oh, Funny Games is a good one though.
Yeah. I heard it was great. I heard the Ford one was really, really good. For me, like the thing that got me like because I've been watching more as I've like maybe the last 6, 8, 10 years. Nope was really good. What's the other one he had? Not Us. I haven't seen Us. What's the other?
Get Out.
Get Out. Oh God, that I watched that on an airplane. I was like, I need to like, what is this? This is amazing. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
But it was the thing that was like it is like it wasn't like overly like, oh, someone's gonna jump out and murder you. It's just the fact that like, oh, there's just like these awful people doing this awful thing, and you're just slowly waiting for everything to unravel. It's like, okay, what is happening here? What's going on? And then, I mean, also very satisfying endings, both of them. Which is, man, I cannot stand a good movie with a bad ending. God, that makes me so angry.
I can't. I die.
I can't. I die. It took 0 minutes. It took 35 minutes for us to get there, guys. Yeah, no, I think it's a big matter of personal preference. I do like more slow burn stuff, and stuff that does make you kind of sit and think about it after a while. Those I mentioned in text to Mon. I was like Scream I enjoyed, and like I find myself like thinking about it the more it continues. Like, oh man, like I really enjoyed these movies.
Glitchum said, I like Nope, Late Night with the Devil, both smiles because the stories were greatly written and directed. One or two of those may be on our list of top 15 horror movies of this year. Everyone talks about Nope, and I feel like I'm supposed to like it for obvious reasons, but it's just not my thing. I don't really go up for Jaws either, so it's very comparable to that. Hey, I saw Get Out. I went home and the deadbolt broke in my apartment. I was trapped inside, paranoid as fuck for the rest of the.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Jeremy, I'm sorry, sweets, if that happened to you.
Still your body.
Place?
Jeremy, was that set up for that joke? Because I'm mad at you now.
Yes, it was.
I was Team Jeremy until that moment.
All right, Cam, what about you? What do you think makes a good horror? You are a horror lifer, so you know.
For me, it has to kind of put you in the position of what is happening. If you can bring the viewer into that and make them feel that anxiety, that tension, that pressure, the stakes and what's going on to the point that they're on edge and the hair standing up and there's actual like some level of fear and feel for the characters involved. That's what I feel like a good horror movie is. Like it has to bring you in, it has to take you on a journey, even to the very end of whether it's a journey of relief or a journey of like, oh my God, this can happen to me tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're looking over your shoulder. Like you have to be able to instill that fear. If you can instill that fear, you got a good horror movie on your hands.
And Ricky.
Oh gosh. All right, so you have to know that I am not I'm learning. I'm on I am learning. I'm on the path.
Yes.
So so I definitely think like that fear. I do not like the torture extreme like a Terrifier. That's for me just looking at the clown, like the scene, like all that. No, thank you. There's only so much I can do, but I'm more of like a psychological, some supernatural type of horror. I can deal with that, and so the fear is good, but also a good storyline that I can like really dive into, and like having a really great storyline kind of helps me ignore the fact that it is horror.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I figured that's what the thing was because From has an amazing storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I just want to.
For me, it's. Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, just kind of thinking of something that Ricky said is that I do a story really is important to everything, but I think there's a certain degree of atmosphere that can make the movie heightened over other genres just because of whether it has no sound in it or if it's got underlying music. And so I think along with story, the general atmosphere, I think really is an important piece of it too. That even if it's something that is a mediocre story, just as it's like a disturbing piece of visual art, as long as it's got, as if it's got some of the atmosphere in it, I think it can make something really work as well.
That's how I feel about Long Legs. Long Legs had that. It was the atmosphere, and it was almost kind of minimalist in some ways, where it's just like it's just a lot of driving in the car, not a lot of background music. You like so like with all that, like you're anticipating like what is going to happen if you're going to see Nicolas Cage's character like pop out of nowhere and have to look at his face, or what's going to happen next. So yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, everything does have to be intentional, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched Longlegs probably 6 hours ago, and atmosphere is the big word for that, because it was actually extremely creepy.
Yes.
And I watched it in the daytime, so it was extremely creepy.
I went to the theaters and watched it.
Oh wow!
So that was a big deal for me.
It actually turned out to be really good. The twist at the end was great. Mm-hmm. But atmospheric wise, that's what made the movie scary to me. Mm-hmm. And I wrote down some other stuff. When you mentioned atmosphere, I thought about like some of those tropes in horror that specifically speak to that, like the haunted mansion or a farmhouse, or what did I write down? A small town like Haddonfield or Woodsboro. Those are all like common things in these horror movies that have to sort of be intentional, like Cam said, to make it feel like it's a really good horror movie. Because we've seen horror movies that are in small towns, but they're trash.
M-E-double-F.
They're M-E-double-S. Like they live in Westview or something. And so, no shade. For me, it's how I feel after I leave the movie. That's what's super important to me. I like to, a lot of times, be in awe, depending on the franchise. If it is a franchise, depending on the movie, what it is. If I'm attached to it already, then I'm gonna probably be on cloud 9. But like, I look for how I feel when I walk out of the movie theater. Am I excited? Do I want to talk more about it? Do I want to go see it again? Can I wait to get on the phone and call Cam and say, hey, I just saw this movie. It was absolutely amazing. And then performances. I preach this all the time. Horror is a combination of every other genre. And so you get those actors like Samara Weaving or Toni Collette, who in Hereditary, who was absolutely phenomenal and should have had an Oscar. And so I say that to say those performances in horror movies are really good. It needs to be great for them to be good horror movies for me, and not just something cheap that you throw away.
Yeah.
And that leads into my next question. There are a horror movie that you've seen, it doesn't have to be this year, but that made an impact on you.
I really think Oddity is, which came out this year in 2024. Oddity, we watched that at home. I'm not sure if it was released in the theaters or not. But Oddity, I don't really get scared at hardly anything that I see or read. But
Same.
Oddity, especially here in the house, it was so. And who's seen it here in this group?
I have not, but it's on my list, and it's been highly spoken about. It left me. I felt like, I wish I could go home because this was so creepy, and unfortunately I was already home. So that really, I think that's, I don't know, for some reason it just really stands out to me. Just the story, the way it was shot. A lot of these UK horror movies that we only see unless they're streaming here, I think are really good because they just got this tradition of storytelling, that's, I think, just a few centuries ahead of North America. I don't disagree.
But there was just, that one really stood out. And the other one that had a major impact on me this year was Abigail. Because going into it, we know exactly what's going to happen, and it's just the reveal. And it's not even just like a just watching the kills, which were great in it. But just the whole thing I thought that was a great story.
Yo, listen, as soon as I walked out of the movie theater, I text my mom, my sister, like, you guys need to watch. Not my sister, my mom was with me. I text my sister, take my nephews to go see this movie because it's the perfect, like, family, have a good time. It's horror, but it's not like too much for people who don't like horror. It's a fun movie to go with your friends. It's a cool date movie. Yeah, I like the Abigail a lot. My movie that sort of left a mark on me was the Blair Witch Project. I was a kid. My father passed away close to that movie, so I was extremely triggered, and I had to get home because I thought something happened to my mom. And so my brothers took me out of the movie theater. And I think I was even on. No, that wasn't that movie. I wasn't on crutches. But yeah, whatever it was, I was having a panic attack in this movie theater, and I had to get out. And so I will never forget that. And Blair Witch Project is actually a scary ass movie, especially back then. It's scary.
Oh yeah. That found film footage genre. That was like I want to say that was like the big kickoff for it. That's when it was, and then from there it started. It blew up like that. That was the movie that made that whole subgenre really blow up.
I agree with you, and it did. And for years, not for years, but the actors couldn't go on public appearances after that because they convinced the entire world that they were dead and this was real. Mm-hmm. And I was just, you can't get away with that now, right? But that was such a good movie, and it scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And if I see you standing in the corner, then I gotta go.
I've done that to my wife so many times in the 25 years that we've been married.
I love it.
I'm happy she's still my wife.
Yes. You should start recording those pranks and do a channel for that because I see it all the time on TikTok where they are pranking their partners.
Ooh, we might have to tussle, okay? We might have to tussle.
What's wrong with you?
You want to get knocked out. Okay.
Like the one I saw recently was the couple where they make themselves look like they're levitating in bed, and so they will the partner will wake up and they're like levitating beside them, and they lose it.
Oh no!
I don't know how you do that, but they did it.
Don't prank me! Don't prank me!
I guess I'll go next. Horror movie that made an impact. I will probably go with Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be between Candyman and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
because both of those, the Nightmare on Elm Street had me scared to go to bed. It had me scared to go to sleep, and then Candyman just had me scared of being in a restroom in front of a mirror by myself.
Yeah,
even though I wasn't gonna say it, I still couldn't do it.
The question is, can you say it today?
Ooh.
I still probably wouldn't risk it, but
Candyman.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead. You do it.
Ricky.
No.
Tom.
No.
I'm like, oh no, I'm about to bounce out of here. Someone.
And on that note, end of stream. Okay. Bye, y'all.
See, this is how you do a reboot. You do Candyman on the stream and not the whole world.
We'll come back to that.
Geeking out.
Remember this moment right now because we're going to come back to this. I have a friend released a movie this last year that I think you guys really enjoy, and it's I think he calls it cozy horror, and it was done during COVID. It looks like this.
What is it called?
Let me look up the name. Keep
because I've seen a lot of those movies, and I like horror movies that are like this. Don't call or friend or uncall one. Oh shit! Whatever it is, that's what Candyman is going to do in the next movie. Okay. It's going to be a group of people on a podcast talking about mysteries that took place in Cabrini Green, and we're going to dare each other to do it, and I'm going to kick us off. It's 5 of us. It's perfect.
And who's going to be the first one to die? Tomorrow's going to be the first one to die.
Only one.
Probably not, but to be clear, only because we're not doing it. You can't close them browsers before I can say it 5 times.
No, okay. Laptop closed. I gotta close the browser. The laptop closed.
No, this is a recorder onto YouTube for perpetuity. Okay, thank you.
But no, I still won't say it to this day too, and it makes no fucking sense. I know that, but I just don't want to be a part of it.
Correct. I'd rather not find out.
Beams on trucks. YouTube.
I'd rather not find out.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Oh yeah, Final Destination was one too.
Yep,
That definitely made an impact on. Oh yeah, across the culture for sure. Nobody
If
drives
you don't
behind
know
those trucks.
what that movie is, but you know that's see that picture of that truck with the wooden things on it, you know what that means. We're not
yeah, it's ingrained in our minds to not drive behind that. Thank you.
Won't catch me behind you.
No,
but it's a good lawsuit.
Yeah, it's also
I
a
would
good
like
job.
to be alive to do the lawsuit. Okay.
You guys are so scary tonight. I don't know what the hell has gotten into you.
What is this? 2024?
Oh,
how dare you, sir?
Yes, Tom. Sip, 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 sip.
Oh, so the name of the movie is called Shadow Vaults. It starts with these, I think it's like 5 or 6 friends who are going to play a D&D game online.
Ooh.
And they invite a new player, and instead of having their D&D thing, they do what a lot of people did during COVID, was like, we're having a discussion, we meet to do a thing, and it just devolves into us talking about how we're dealing with stuff. And then it goes into like their own family traumas and like ghost stories and things like that. And I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of like talking head stuff, but it's like a real nice slow burn.
Okay.
Shadow Vaults.
Shadow Vaults. Hashtag Shadow Vaults. If you're in the comments, make sure you look up Shadow Vaults.
Shadow Vaults.
What is it
with
that? Horror and what did I just write down? And kid. I don't care. Hold on, kid. We were just talking about. What did you?
You said kids on bikes. Is that what you're talking about? That last sit.
Horror and games. What is it with horror movies and using these games as like their backdrop to make these movies? Like, talk to me. Have you
for real?
Games
for
are
real? I
innocent.
actually do have a thought on this. Hey, I did a master's thesis forever ago on storytelling in video games, and the big thing about it is like, as opposed to like watching a movie or reading a book where it's mostly passive, with games you're actually involving yourself with it, so you have agency in it. So you have like, oh, I'm doing the thing. Like if you were to tell someone like, oh, I played this game, I did this. It's not like, oh, Mario was jumping and then he jumped and got a mushroom. It's like, I did this, I did that. And so when you engage that with horror, it just brings that level of agency, that level of involvement into that horror story.
Yeah. And you know what else? I think games, when you think about it, like at its root, there's a lot of ritual that goes into games. Like even just thinking about Monopoly, you know, right away, we all know what our home traditions are, that we don't.
Your wrong ways to play, that's fine.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness about games. You know, chess is
Uno.
Mystical. Yes. Uno is killer. People die over Uno. Right? But no, I think like Lucio makes that good point that it involves people, so they really do that. But I think that there's just this unnoticed ritualism that goes along with playing games that I think people don't usually think about or even consider. I mean, I just thought of it right now, just thinking about like Lucio's immense wall of games, which is like,
I haven't told them about this, Tom.
So the secret's out.
Along those lines, though, this makes me think of that because like Ouija is a big thing, and like there is a lot of like it's all those things right away. It's like it's horror, it's ritual, it's game, it's like all these things all wrapped into this one thing.
Right.
I also think that it has to do with like childhood and innocence and all the things that you want to corrupt, right? When it comes to like horror. And so I think that's a cool tie-in because it's innocent, because we have these kids playing this board game, and next thing they know, one of the kids gets sucked in, and then 25 years later, he comes back out, and then years later, we have a reboot, and there's new kids going into
Jumanji.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Jumanji is gateway horror because that's terrifying.
Right.
So imagine being sucked into a game and seeing your best friend or boyfriend, girlfriend get sucked in, and then they come back, and then you're like, "Where the hell you been at?" Jumanji is scary.
Zathura was too.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen. Is that like Bridge of Terror Beat?
Jumanji Light.
I think we watched Zathura together. Yeah, Jumanji. No, Space Jumanji.
Space Jumanji is the same author too. It's the same author.
Mm-hmm. Space Jumanji is basically.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and it was Zathura was really good.
I saw a horror movie called All All Fun and Games, and it came out last year, so I couldn't add it to this list, but it was amazing. And it's about this boy who finds this knife and this dagger, and his older siblings, he has two of them, have to watch after him. He's not a baby or anything. He's like maybe 8, 10. And so his older siblings have to take care of him, but they don't want to play with him. So this game has an inscription on it, and you have to say something like, you have to say this little thing, ritual, but then it releases it, and this makes you kill everybody. So, it's good. It's scary too. All Fun and Games. Check that out. So this year we've seen a lot of horror movies together. What are some horror movies that are new to you that you've seen this year?
So one of the ones we'll mention later is A Quiet Place Day One. So I watched all 3, but I watched them out of order. So I watched A Quiet Place Day One first, then I watched A Quiet Place, and then I watched A Quiet Place 2, which kind of like
that's chronology order, isn't it?
Yes, chronologically in order, but like debut wise, no. And I liked them. Granted, I watched them in the daytime. You know, I watched the Day One in the theaters, and I kind of like the having that background with Day One, and then seeing it progress from 1 and 2.
Would you say that Day One is borderline? That's not fair, but it's 50-50 drama and horror?
Yes, I would say 60-40.
60 being drama?
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes. I would
and
say
maybe
it was
70-30.
Honestly, quite honestly, there was a lot more drama than there was the horror in A Quiet in Day One.
Comparatively to the
comparatively,
rest.
just like the introduction, the her finding someone to travel with and stay with, and like that weird relationship that they were building.
The cat.
Love the cat. Like that was more drama than actual like action.
Yeah. And what motivated Lupita in that movie, as trivial as it was, but at the end of days, you can see how big that could be. What she was hungry for, rather.
Right.
It was so small, you know, to us, but in the movie, it was pretty cool. I don't want to spoil it because I know everybody hasn't seen it. Tom, have you seen Quiet Place Day One?
I have not. I haven't seen the second one either. But I think I do want to see Day One just because I always like to see where things begin. You know, that initial action. So
there's some great performances in that one.
There were a lot of things I think this year that just came and went so fast it was hard, but they're good enough that you can't stream them for free yet. So.
Right.
That I'm just like, I gotta wait for that.
So I Smile 2 just came out, and I have not seen it yet. I was debating on it, but of course, when I'm not quite sure, I always do a little Google search, and I'm gonna spoil everything by looking at Wikipedia. But I'm okay with that. But I kind of like this idea of it starting off as like the whole like trilogy. It's kind of a trilogy. So I like the fact that it starts off like a short film, and like where it starts off and like how it kind of builds, and like I kind of like that storyline. I'm interested in seeing that.
Okay.
I think Smile, the original Smile, was a pretty innovative kind of stand with you. I mean, it's not a new idea. It's kind of like It Follows, but
yes,
I'm glad that it wasn't like It Follows 2 or, you know, I mean, I like when
that's
things
coming though, Tom. That's coming.
Right.
No, it is. It's coming.
Oh yeah, well, they follow, right?
Yeah, they follow.
Yeah. But I think I thought that was it was very creepy. I thought there was a lot of visual and atmosphere and that dread that really stuck in with Smile. So I'm really interested in the second one because it does seem to be different enough from the original with still the concept that it's not just going to be a rehash. Like I really liked Sinister a lot, but Sinister 2 I thought was just not as, it wasn't different enough. Whereas I kind of like all the Insidious movies. I thought they kind of fit together without repeating themselves. So that's the weird thing about sequels, you know, is you want to do what people liked about the first one, but you want to do something different. And that's the thing I really don't like about reboots, right? It's like, just don't reboot it. Just make it something else and call it something different.
we complain about that all the time.
There's
right?
other
Like,
stuff,
like
isn't
Smile could basically be a like it follows fan fiction that actually worked, right? And and just so long as they didn't, you know, totally repeat, I'm like, okay, I can get on board with this.
So no, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but Smile 2, it's a great movie, but it's redundant. But the lead, the Pink Ranger, and Slash All These Angels, she's absolutely phenomenal.
No, Lemonade Mouth. That's what we know her from.
Who?
Lemonade Mouth.
Is that cartoon or something?
No, it's
No,
Disney.
it's a Disney show. I got you, Ricky. I got
you.
Y'all have kids. Okay.
No, I probably go watch this prior to having kids, but okay, thanks.
Socks and sandals.
What?
Hey, while you guys are busy watching horror, we're watching the Disney afternoon. Give us a break.
We love that movie. And let me guess. Tune in.
Look, the soundtrack for Lemonade Mouth slaps. Don't judge me.
Oh, Cat Rock. No.
No. A step too far, Cam. A step too far.
Okay. Cam, that was enough. Okay.
Sorry. 2024, right?
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, you said it. All right, Cam, you.
So the new things that I watched between yesterday and today. Honestly,
Can I be on the list?
I probably have, oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something that I watched that I haven't watched before.
Front room.
I mean, yeah, but you know, that's somewhere
on the list too.
Else.
Also on the list.
It's in a different position, but you know.
We are.
You know, since you omitted what oh God.
Google horror of 2024.
I already know that, but I've everything that I watched is on the list. Oh, and then,
I also said TV
come back to me. Come back to me.
Movies or TV shows. So I'm gonna go with Interview with the Vampire season 2. Interview with the Vampire season 2. Absolutely amazing, start to finish. You want to talk about writing? You want to talk about performance? You want to talk about Emmy snubs? Wait, that's the word? Yeah, not getting Emmy nominations. This is a show you need to watch. Tom, have you ever seen Interview with the Vampire TV show?
I have not. This is probably going to sound like sacrilegious. I've never been a big Anne Rice fan. I know. And you know what? Same with, well, no, I'm not going to say that, but I will say that I like Clive Barker over another big name author who actually said that Clive Barker was the future of him and better than him. So I'm just saying, so here's the horror guy, right? What's that?
He said that?
Oh, no. The
is the female. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So but I did see the original interview and it was fine.
Yeah. It was okay. So Dracula with go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Dracula with
Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder. That was Clive Barker.
That was
wasn't it?
Actually, it was
his version though, right?
No, it was not. The guy that made the Godfather. Oh my
How
gosh!
do we all draw a blank on that?
Why can't I not think of what? Oh gosh!
Bram Stoker's Dracula was.
Oh my gosh! He makes wine now.
Gary
Coppola,
Oldman. No, that's the actor. Francis Coppola.
Yeah, it was Francis Ford
that's the-
Coppola.
yeah.
That was terrible, guys. We just need to start over, guys.
Yeah, Ashley, can we edit this? Like the Star Spangled Banner. Can I start over? I fucked up.
On YouTube already.
God.
The more
And I was
you
almost
know.
going to say, not Martin Scorsese, the other one.
Francis Ford Coppola. Okay, yeah, that was great, but it wasn't based off of Clive Barker's story. Oh, Dracula is, but not this one. Okay, cool. That's true. Okay, got it. Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so something that was new to me that it doesn't. They say don't have to be from this year, so that's perfect because I did watch All of Us Are Dead on Netflix. Which was about high school that became ground zero for a zombie outbreak.
Oh.
And I did watch Cabinet of Curiosities, but I didn't stick with it.
Mm-mm.
I watched a few episodes and then I was kind of done with it. And it's another one. What is it? Another horror show that I had watched on Netflix. Oh no! Oh, it wasn't on Netflix. I watched Yellow Jackets this year.
Oh,
I binged Yellow Jackets.
Oh, I knew that. Okay, yeah. That's true.
I binged Yellow Jackets.
That's a good one.
And Mayfair Witches. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Yellow Jackets is a good one, but
yeah, Yellow Jackets was top tier.
yeah, it is top tier television. Yeah, come on, we'll give you that. But that other one you mentioned,
Mayfair Witches, who cares?
It's mid at best, but the trailer for season 2 looked like it's gonna be good.
So there was another thing I've been catching on Disney Plus because they have like several different little mini channels of just streaming different things. And so right now there's a Halloween one. So there's a newer Goosebumps TV series that came out in 2023 where kind of like the sins of the parents affect the children.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's pretty good from what I've seen so far. A lot of, the parents had something to do with a kid's death when they were in high school, and the ghost is coming back to haunt the children and like kicking the kids' butts all up into their high school. It's been pretty interesting.
What episode are you on?
What was the last one I saw? It's been like I just kind of catch things as I go.
Okay. Justin Long is in that show, and
yes.
I'm a huge fan of his.
So I had a question: is that is it like episodic, like one to the next? Is okay, okay, good, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like the Goosebumps that we grew up with, but it's like
that's what I was thinking it was going to be, and we almost watched that just 2 or 3 days ago.
It ties into that original show, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but not a spoiler.
Oh my Goosebumps lore will come in handy.
Let's jump to a commercial, and when we come back, we're going to run through our list of movies we liked this year and the ones we hated.
Spoiler, I know what's on the hated list.
Short commercial, I'll be right back. Sweet through.
Almost.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Psycho Killer card game. Make sure you check it out. It's like Clue, but for slashers.
I just had a very long sip of 2024, so
Oh,
Oh, wow.
nice.
Here you go.
Mm.
Because all y'all drinking wine.
Let's begin our wonderful list. Oh, wait, not yet, actually. Let's talk about our least, I don't want to say hated films, but I think that's appropriate. What is it called?
Least
Films
liked.
that- awful films of 2024.
I would
Okay.
say dishonorable mentions.
Dishonorable mentions. I like that.
Okay, just go ahead and say you didn't like Front Room and
I hate
Deliverance.
that movie so much, but at the same time, it is the gift that keeps on giving. Because how many times do we mention that terrible, awful movie?
Right.
Why can't I die?
M-E-double-S.
M-E-double-S.
So obviously, number one on our things that we hated this year was The Front Room, featuring the singer Brandy Norwood.
Mm-hmm.
Her performance was great, but the movie was trash.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Tom, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, and I think I kind of stray away from movies that have pop stars in it.
I do.
Possible.
Oh, okay.
Even though Anaconda and Halloween H2O were both great, this one definitely is support your idea. That was my movie of 2024 that was trash.
But it's not. It is no fault of the actors. It was the writing. I just want to be clear. It was the writing all the way.
It has so much potential. The opening is spectacular. That just the singular opening scene where they show the triptych of the mother holding the baby and then the Brandy and her husband, like that, tons of potential. I was like, all right, let's see what this is. That sounds cool. And then just not even downhill, just bottomed out instantly.
Yeah, it was over.
This I liked this movie. I definitely didn't hate it, and this is more of a critique, I think, of Netflix. But did you all see the Deliverance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we definitely had a whole episode about both these.
thanks to Cadence, we did a double feature for the Deliverance and the Front Room at the same time.
Oh,
the same damn
to me,
time.
that's so crazy.
Hey, Deliverance, so good by comparison. So good by comparison.
I mean, yeah,
I hate Deliverance. To be clear, I didn't hate it. It wasn't the greatest, but it was watchable and it was enjoyable.
Yeah,
because I can smell.
Ooh,
no, stop.
I'm not gonna say it, but I'm just saying.
Like I said, it's like my biggest critique of Netflix is I think that when there's a lot of movies that are Netflix exclusive, it's in some regard a vanity project. Like I think The Deliverance would have been great if it could have been a major screen release, because then you would have had to trim it and edit it down a little bit. And I think it just ran a little too long. But overall, I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was an okay movie for me.
It was like a C for me.
Yeah, that's accurate.
For Glenn Close?
For Glenn Close.
Do you remember it?
Close is great.
Okay,
Ricky, do you have 2024 that you hated?
Oh, no, because whatever I watched, it was intentional.
Yeah,
I chose to watch it on purpose, and I'll vet it because I'm already like picky about what horror I'm gonna subject myself to. So, yeah, no, I can definitely say that I don't have any of for this year because I didn't watch The Front Room.
Lucky you.
Yes, you did, Ricky.
I'm two fortunate people on this.
What is The Front Room?
What? Is that another name for living room? I'm good.
Is that the kitchen or
right?
No. Okay.
week.
Okay, let's see. Did I see anything else bad? I feel like I've seen honestly, y'all, I feel like this year have been such bad horror movies. And to me, this year has felt like the soul has been sucked out of most horror movies. Swim fan, not swim fan, but swim.
Night Swim.
Night Swim, awful. Soulless, no point. It was awful. No story, no nothing.
Tom looks like you love that one.
You saw that one too, Tom?
Oh yeah, no, I think I agree. It was soulless. I mean, I like haunted swimming pool subgenre, but this did not hit that mark. If it was an Olympic diving competition, it did not score the best points. That's for sure.
It didn't score any points. No. Honestly. Another one for me that I don't know if this is on our list or not.
What are you about to say, Imaginary?
No, but thank you. Imaginary was also on the list of movies of 2024 that was not that great. It too was soulless and predictable and amateur writing. Sorry.
Well,
I mean, you can't blame actors for being a part of bad projects.
Because they need to check too.
Yeah, I mean, they came to work and
they try to make it. Take care of that.
Yeah, they try to make the script work and it just don't. And I heard the Strangers reboot was also terrible.
That was next on my list. It was garbage. Hot garbage.
And I don't understand why they even rebooted it to begin with. Very unnecessary.
If you've seen the original, you know it's hard to touch that.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie was awful. This movie replayed the entire first movie. And so what they should have done was started in the present and use her attack. Have y'all all seen the first movie? The Strangers?
The
original one? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so instead of making the reboot all about her and her husband or person's attack, use that as a backdrop and so that she's surviving from that, and then let her get attacked again, which is what's happening in the sequel. They got a trilogy greenlighted out the gate, and so the first movie bombed, so they're doing reshoot, and they're finished all three of them, by the way. They shot all three of them in one setting. The first one bombed. The second one is under reshoots for the first screening, the first test screening, and it bombed. So they under reshoots. So yeah.
See,
go figure. Imagine that.
Imagine
Make a new thing.
Well, clearly, I also heard that Tarot was also.
Thank you.
Tarot
was awful, soulless, trash. It was in the theaters, I think, but I watched it on Netflix, maybe.
Yeah, I wanted to like it because I think that one is sort of it's soulless writing, but this CGI effects, like soulless writing, I think could be uplifted with practical effects.
Practical effects, yes.
I just get so tired of the CGI because it just it almost looks worse than like AI. When the computer does the stuff on its own, it looks creepier than when a human's programming it. And I was so excited to kind of see the tarot cards realized and it definitely fell short. Also,
I was expecting like a 13 Ghosts vibe where the tarot cards were, like the monsters in that movie. None of that. None of that. The murder scenes were good, though. I'm not going to hold you. The murder scenes were good, but you don't care because you don't care about any of the characters. Even the guy from Spider-Man, you don't care about him, and he lived. Spoiler alert. Let's talk about something positive. Let's go into our top 15 horror movies of 2024 and anything else we have to add to that. Number one, in no specific order, is Alien Romulus. Has anyone seen this?
I have not seen it yet. I do need to go and see it because it looked really good, and I've heard really great things about it.
Yeah, same. I haven't had a chance to to see it yet. I'm one of the people, I like Prometheus and whatever the other one was.
Covenant.
Yes,
That other
I like
one.
this. I was like, oh, okay, Alien Romulus, it's going to be the same thing again. But I like the Xenomorphs pretty good. I think there's a series coming out too next year that I'm like, oh, I could get on board with that. For some reason, I was never interested in Alien versus Predator, even though I love that scene in Predator 2. But Romulus is definitely one that I'm looking forward to seeing when it comes out. I mean, when it comes out for free on streaming.
No. We understand.
Yeah, we get that. I saw this in the theaters, and it was probably one of the best movies of this year. I'm going to add that by saying I don't even like this franchise or space horror. So it's like all the things I don't really care about in horror, this movie had it, but I was locked in. It was such good storytelling. The lead is the girl from the Craft reboot that flopped. She's the new lead in this, and she's amazing. It's like a whole new actress. It's really good. The action, the death, the graphics, the practical effects, it's all there. Go see it.
Okay. I got it on my list. I'm ready for it.
Next. We brought this up earlier today. I know Tom saw Abigail. Ricky, did you see it?
I did.
Cam?
I have not seen it, and I meant to watch it a long time ago.
I think it's on Peacock.
Peacock.
Right?
So, yeah, it is.
Lucio.
I might have watched like some YouTube review of this or something, because like I read through the thing, and I was like, oh, I think I know I didn't see it, but I've seen it, right? I'm familiar with what the story is. It sounded great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, and like Tom said earlier, it's what you get everything you need to know about this movie in the beginning. It's nothing to take too serious, and that's okay for this. It's fun, it's funny. The kills are gruesome. The fight scenes are great. The casting was off the charts. It was just a really fun ride.
Just as we're thinking, it almost makes you think of like Reservoir Dogs if it involved a child vampire. Because when you're thinking about how they all have their code names and they're on this heist, I mean, it's basically a heist.
And the violence,
right? That goes bad. Yeah, and the violence. So it's like the Reservoir Dogs of horror. I like it.
It's a complete battle royale. I'm a fan of Melissa Barrera because of the Scream franchise, and so it's nice to see her in something different, but still being a main character.
And I thought she was even more of a badass in this than in Scream.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know if it's just because I really like Jenna Ortega, and I think that she's just a stronger character in those Scream movies. But I thought that in this one, she was awesome.
Tom, we have to chat because in Scream 5, I said the exact same thing, that Tara should have been the lead versus her sister, because she was just so flat to me in the first one. She was better in Scream 6, Sam, but in Scream 5, I was just all about Tara. All about Tara. Okay. Yes, Lucio, Cam, make sure you watch this one. It's fun. It's easy. Yeah, it's a good time. Another one we talked about tonight, A Quiet Place Day One, a great one. Ricky, you want to give a shout out to this one?
Yes. So this one is, like we said, it's much more drama than it is horror, but I think it was a great prequel to the A Quiet Place 1 and 2. So
yeah, it's great. Look at the cast. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, Lupita, sure, yes.
Lupita, the new Johnny Storm,
great.
Yeah. Right, whatever whatever that little relationship was in that movie, it was cute.
It was cute. Yeah, it was.
It was cute. It's cute. And the cat, love the cat.
And a shout out to, I can't remember his name. Hold on, where's this movie at? Quiet Place 2. Does anybody remember his name?
Who?
The co-lead.
Oh, not Lupita. That's all I know.
Joseph Quinn, is that the
Joseph Quinn? Yeah, thank you, Joseph Quinn. He was Eddie in Stranger Things. He is the new Johnny Storm. in the Fantastic Four, so he is definitely catching this ride.
Yeah.
And honestly, from what I've seen in Quiet Place and Stranger Things, and just in small clips of Fantastic Four, he has a lot of great range. He is a chameleon.
Yep. All right.
Smile 2. Ooh. Okay, y'all. Okay, I briefly spoke about this earlier, but it is repetitive. But I think that's part of this franchise, though. I think you have to go through catching the disease, eventually spreading it. This sounds awful, but catching
the entity,
catching the whatever, yeah, the entity, and then letting the entity drive you crazy, and then you doing what you're supposed to do next, unalive.
Yes.
I'm
I'm more interested in this simply for Naomi and like the pop star album that's coming out of this.
Yeah, and then you go to Apple Music. Her music's out from this album. She recorded actual songs for this role. Remember, she was in Aladdin, so she is a singer and dancer already. So she was great for this. And I was a fan of her already as Kimberly the Pink Ranger.
Yes.
But when she came into this, and as soon as you saw her, it was like, oh, yeah. She's somebody to watch, and I want her to be in more horror. More horror. She is so good, y'all.
I just need her being more films in general. I think she's
and she's gorgeous.
Right.
She's gorgeous. Next. Oh wait, did I tell you what it's about?
Wait, this didn't come out yet.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah,
it did.
It's been out. Yeah.
Oh gee.
It came out the 18th.
That was on my list too, Kate.
I think it came out the 18th. No, that was a week ago. So no, hold on.
It's like maybe 4 weeks ago.
Is Smile is the
wait? Are you talking about Smile 2 or
the Substance?
The Substance been out,
yeah.
Is Smile 2?
So it's been out. Mean
it came out when
2024,
May 19th,
September 20th.
Oh yeah, it's been out.
Oh, for a week.
It's been out for a month.
Oh my!
Oh, month. I think
that's so crazy. I saw the preview. At Front Room. I think no. Yes.
And it's still in the movie theaters. That's all I have for Smile 2. It's great. It's about this pop star, and you get all of that, her world. You get the entourage, you get the momager, you get the assistant, you get all the things that you think a pop star would like have in this world. And it's just, they do a great job from start to finish, even though it gets a little slow.
Yeah.
In the first hour, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
it did, yeah. Only because the repetitiveness, because you know what's happening. We just wait for it. And no shade, by the halfway through it, I was like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. Let's end it.
Yeah.
Okay. The Substance. Everybody was screaming about this movie. I didn't really care about it, but everybody was talking about it. Tom, have you seen this one?
Yes, I think it's one of those that it's hard for me to say it's one of my favorites, but I thought it was very good. It was super, super gross. My wife walked out of it at the very end. You did see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was smiling because I figured that this movie is they call it body horror.
Yeah, and it was it's one of the juiciest movies I've seen in a long time.
What is that? There's a name for that genre. What is it called? Do you remember, Tom? For goopy horror?
Moist.
What?
I do think it's goopy. I think you're right, Lucio. It's something like that. Yeah.
There's a name for it. Yeah. So okay, a weird thing with me is I'm not bothered by if it's not I don't know how to explain it, but oh, this person got cut open, this person got those kind of things don't my background's in science. I did dissect a lot of animals, and so guts and stuff doesn't bother me. It's the threat of it is bigger than the what was that case? The threat of it is scarier than the actual goopiness.
Yeah, it's just really no spoiler, but whenever someone peels a fingernail off, that really hits me in a certain spot.
Yes, it does.
Weird. Ooh.
Even
make
you
wiggle your fingers,
pulled and they grabbing against the floor and their nails bring.
Nails. Oh yes. Oh yeah, and it comes off somewhere.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
This I don't know if I should even give you a synopsis of this one because I went to this one completely dry, y'all. I just knew Demi Moore was in it. And when this girl to the right showed up, I was like, oh, she's the co-lead. I didn't even know I had one. I had no clue what this was about. I will just tell you that a great double feature for this is Death Becomes Her.
Really? That's okay. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. It's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And when you watch it, Cam, we gotta everybody watch it. The next episode, I don't know whenever y'all watch it, but we got to talk about it on an episode because I have to know you guys' thought about this idea. And I'm not gonna say anything else. But that's the right, Tom. That's a perfect double feature.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It does. It's a similar theme, but takes totally different direction to the approach.
And it felt refreshing to walk in and like I have no clue what this is, but Demi Moore's in it, and I love Demi Moore.
Oh, I thought she was great. I like Margaret Qualley, and I mean Demi Moore still has it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying.
And, you know, when people say, "Oh, that's so brave," like her doing that, I'm like, wow, she was like, "This is who I am," and I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, y'all liked it 25 years ago. You gonna like it today. Okay, next one. Let's see. The First Omen. I saw this in the theater. Again, another genre that Tom, I'll let you take this one because you like prequels. This is a prequel. Oh, wait, has anybody else seen this one?
It's actually queued up on my TV right now. I started watching it when it started.
Okay,
it's pretty good, and you may even have sort of its companion piece queued up next. I like The First Omen. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was shot really, really well,
yes.
And it was interesting how it sort of led up to like not necessarily having a new reboot sequel of the Damien, but it sort of led off in this new fresh direction, which if I would have done it, I would have not called it The First Omen. I would have been like, okay, I'm secretly rebooting the Omen and I'm going to do my own thing. And then where this movie leads off is in a totally different direction than just the way that Damien and Omen 2 went in the 70s and 80s. But when we get to its sister piece, I'll have a little bit more to say.
Yeah, you know what? I think because I had my feel of Antichrist stories, is that I don't know the babies, like, geez, I'm just so tired of magical babies and that's not nice, but magical demonic babies and special babies. I'm so tired of that subgenre, even though I know it's good. Like Rosemary Baby just had a prequel, Apartment 7A. Like, why are we doing a prequel to Rosemary's Baby, which is the same thing that happens in Rosemary's Baby?
Yep.
What do you mean?
I mean, in some of that regard, this almost does that same thing, right?
Yeah.
It does it good, but it's almost like it's basically the same thing that's happening in The Omen.
Yeah. Agreed. But at least this one was constructed in a way that it felt different. The other one was not.
Yeah.
All right. And next, but check out The First Omen. It was good. It's streaming somewhere. Okay, to your point, another great double feature: First Omen and Immaculate.
So Immaculate and The First Omen pretty much came out at the same time, and I think because The First Omen had the name of the Omen to it, Immaculate kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. But while both are good, I think Immaculate really stands out more. Again, it doesn't do too much different from the Antichrist trope, but just visually and I think it's a stronger piece than The First Omen, but they're both good.
Yeah. Has anyone else seen this one?
No.
Okay, that is Miss Sydney Sweeney. Now she's gorgeous and a big part of I think this movie's success. I thought this movie was okay. It was better at the end for me, but yeah, those two will be a great double feature.
And it was so weird that they kind of came out tangentially too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you say, having this Rosemary's Baby prequel sort of follow in its wake after it's like, okay.
Are they trying to tell us something? What's going on?
Right.
Okay, because
yes,
it's definitely 2024. We don't need to keep doing this.
Thank you, Cam. You're absolutely right.
Shoot.
All right, next film.
I have not seen that either.
Has anyone seen this one?
This looks too much.
Oh, what did you say, Ricky?
It looks too much.
It does look like killing for killing's sake, and I'm not always a fan of those types of movies.
Well,
go ahead.
This is basically it's Jason's story. It's shot in all first person, and it's basically the same story of Jason when he came into the picture. So he's just walking around killing folks. To your point, Cam, yeah.
This is
I probably won't be a fan.
I don't need that.
This is one of those that, so I really wanted to see this, and I actually watched it today because I was like, oh, it's going to be on the list. I want to be able to talk about it. I'm not a big fan of slashers, but I think that the atmosphere, I mean, I'm surprised this wasn't an A24 movie, to be honest, because it really has that feel to it. And it definitely is a slasher, but it's like it's like if Friday the 13th was artsy, but in a good way. And it is just basically a supernatural killer killing for the sake. And they even talk about that in the movie. That's sort of like a theme. Again, no spoiler, but it's a piece that really sort of ties around to the ending of it. And like I said, I watched it during the day here, and a lot of it is shot during the day with a lot of the kills during the day, and it's still unnerving and full of dread. But definitely,
probably the part that instills that dread is the fact that it's happening in broad daylight.
Yeah, that's something I always really enjoy when things get turned on their head, right? Like, I'm so tired of abandoned far off farms or things in the woods. I like the building that's crowded by a super Target and like a boutique hotel, and there's the little building in there with God knows what's going on in there, and there's people walking around. I like when things switch up like that, and I think that was one of the things that really worked in this movie was that a lot of it takes place under sunlight.
Yeah.
Have you seen 30 Days of Night?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's one of my very top favorites.
Yeah, me too. Next up, Long Legs. Has anyone seen Long Legs?
No.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Okay, Ricky.
Ricky saw it.
Tell us about Long Legs.
Okay. So this is one about a serial killer. So girl becomes a cop. She's investigating these murders that make no sense. They're a family, like someone in the family is killing the entire family, and then they shoot themselves. And it's like several of them that have done this. And the scariest thing for me is Nicolas Cage and like his face, the face that he has. But like a lot of suspense, like I said earlier, a lot of it's not necessarily minimal. It's kind of minimalist where it's like a lot of silence, more of the background noise or environmental noise. So like the car driving, being outside, people walking, or a single person or two walking up a walkway, and so like you're just kind of like that silence kind of adds to the anticipation and dread for the story. So it's a mixture between like a serial killer, mystery, and supernatural. The supernatural is kind of the shocker.
Okay.
It was good. It was creepy.
Good. It was good. It's very creepy. Yes.
And
very
Nicolas Cage, I hate that was spoiled for me, but he was so good.
Yeah.
He was so good, y'all, and creepy. Like the first 60 seconds, he scared the shit out of me.
Literally.
So,
but you get that atmosphere where literally in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's a house. It looks like it's in the Midwest. It feels like it's in the Midwest.
As usual.
Right. And it's just like a little kid out in the snow. And it's like there's no other music, there's no music in the background. Just all you hear are footsteps and conversation and boo, scary faces. And not even like you see the action outside of that. It's just the visual. Oof.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Like I said, Maika Monroe from It Follows. She was great. It's good to see her doing horror again, and that she's really leaning into that. She has a lot of horror movies coming out. Unfortunately, she's going to be in the Hand That Rocks the Cradle remake. Another one of my favorite movies as a kid, but I don't know why that story has to be actually remade because it's not that spectacular of a story to be remade. It's great. No, the movie's great, but we don't have to retell that story.
I feel like what I've kind of enjoyed about horror is that, at least from my perspective, there's been reboots, but like there's been less of them. Or like it's a good like continuation. There's been less reboots or not sequels, but like this idea of like recreating the same content.
Oh yeah.
To the opposite end, if you're into rom-coms, like they're nothing but remakes at this point. Like if you watch the like Hallmark and the Christmas, like it's just like Princess Bachelorette, Princess Bachelorette 2, Princess Bachelorette on Ice.
All very formulaic. Yes.
I thought Lindsay Lohan was just in this movie last year. She's doing the same Christmas movie.
Yeah, basically.
Look, once you hit that Christmas Netflix Christmas special, Hallmark special money, that's a bag.
Yeah, I would write one 100%. I would write one right now.
Look, if they have you on a contract for at least doing like 5 or 6
Christmas dreams, baby.
My bills will be paid for a long time.
Merry Christmas, ho ho ho! I will go through the same situation for 5 movies if you pay me.
Yep, writing about someone who can see things in his dreams during Christmas time. Movie is already greenlit.
Look, I'm a single person who's quirky, and I own a coffee shop, and randomly fall in love with
someone who came in being rude. Yes, the day I was taking the order at the coffee stand, they were rude to me, and I kicked them out because I'm the owner. But then we fall in love. Yeah, you're right.
The first movie is a coffee shop. The second movie, I own a bakery, and the third one is something weird like a Christmas tree farm. Okay,
and then they die. They die in the third one, right? But then the police officer in the town that you go to recover, you fall in love with them next. So it's
the twin. It's the twin brother. That's what it is.
It's the twin brother.
Solid money.
Okay, has anyone seen this?
Haven't seen it, but I did want to see it.
I know what this one is. Yeah.
So many of these are like have been previews that I've been seeing like all summer long.
Okay.
Like Blink Twice is one of them. Smile 2 is one of them. There's another one that are like I've seen previews for it all summer long. Oh, actually, Alien Romulus. That I saw previews that all summer long.
This goes in my top 5 of this year.
Really?
I've been intrigued. I've been intrigued by it. Like I'd probably watch it.
I mean, it seems fairly refreshing. It seems kind of like a little fresh take.
It's different. It's well acted. It's well constructed. Zoe Kravitz directorial debut. She was great. The role of the lead feels like something she probably turned down to direct, and which is probably smart because she was great as the lead. Channing Tatum was super good. And this is not like a slash or anything like that, but it is. People die in this often. It's good, y'all. And when you figure out what the title means, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Check this out in the comments. Check this out, y'all, on this panel. Blink Twice is super dope. It's Channing Tatum. Grow up.
See him in a darker role is going to be interesting too.
Oh, I didn't know if people knew that
like
part.
he has. So can we say he has range now? Like Blink Twice and
I think
Gambit.
I would say. I mean, even
Gambit.
from the previews, I would say yes, because he's a different character from how he's typically typecast.
I did like when looking at the previews, like because he always comes out like that leading man, boy next door kind of vibe, and this was like, oh, this seems very sinister.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to make a name for himself.
I'm officially dead.
But no, everybody. I didn't know people knew he was darker, but the trailers do show that. But he is the villain. He's charming, ambitious, gorgeous, but he is a villain in this, and he is so good.
I love it.
I've never seen it like this before.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I've never seen him like that before. But yet still Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of anybody else in this that just jumps out. The lead is good too. Can't think of. Now, I haven't seen Oddity yet. Tom
has.
Spiel on this. You have, Cam?
No, I said Tom has.
Tom.
Volunteering Tom.
Give us a spiel on this.
As far as, I mean, I guess I would sort of group Abigail in the realm of horror comedy, but as just a straight horror movie, this I think is my top pick. It is, if you can see from this poster here, the little golem, the wood golem at the bottom. It's even now thinking about it, I'm like, ooh, I wish my family was home right now, and I'm like kind of I need to watch like Bob's Burgers after this, just looking at this picture right now, because it's one yeah, but it's one of those, it's about it's a woman that is mysteriously murdered. Her sister can read vibes from objects and gets a hint that her sister's murder was not committed by who the cops say they are, and that's pretty much what it is. But it involves that little wooden golem guy there, who's a charmer in it. And yeah, again, it's a British movie, but it was very unnerving. And if there could be a fast, slow burn, that's what this is as well.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I just read the synopsis and it said a psychic, and I can't believe I never read the synopsis of this film. And those are things that I would be interested in watching. So I'm going to go into this dry as well, and I look forward to watching Oddity. Speak No Evil. Has anyone seen this or the original?
So this is another one that I've seen the previews for it several times.
Mm-hmm.
This is home invasion, isn't this? I'm looking at this poster. This is home invasion, isn't it?
It's not home invasion.
No.
It's like a reverse home invasion.
Yeah, reversal.
I think that still qualifies. That's too close to home. I was like, I know, same as you, Ricky. Like, I know I saw a million previews. Why didn't I see this?
It's befriending the wrong people.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly what this is about. And I saw the original. I did another stream on a double feature, Cam, doing this movie and something else. I can't remember. Oh, Eden Lake. The original came out in 2022, and they remade it in 2024. This world is just
unoriginal,
ridiculous.
I take back my statement about the remakes. Then
is the original Swedish?
Yeah, the original version. Hold on, I'll tell you. The original version of Speak No Evil, 2022. Danish. Yes. So yes.
So in 2024, we got this.
Yeah, in 2024, we did get this one. So, but what I was boycotting this movie because that 22 to 24 reboot pissed me off. It took me out. I was like, y'all doing too much. But then James McAvoy signed up, and from me watching the original, I already knew which role he had. Okay, I knew what role my boy James McAvoy had. And from the trailer, he got that role, and he is gonna kill it, literally. Now you talking about range? That guy,
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's nuts.
from the stage to the film, he got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ready for
Sure.
the
And
next one?
this came out pretty recently too. Didn't it? See, there's now that we're kind of back in the almost normal mode, there's been a lot released in the theater in conjunction with stuff that's streaming, and then stuff in the theater is streaming. That it's almost hard to keep up with.
Which is why I haven't seen so many movies.
Oh, today was my catch-up day. I caught up on at least 6 films today.
I don't know
Yeah,
how you did that.
I did about between today and yesterday. I think I've watched at least 4 different movies.
Yeah, so and even me, I was like, damn, I'm catching up too. So like, I don't know what's going on. Life be lifing, but I'm catching up on stuff too. And I can't believe I didn't see Longlegs in the theater. That was good. It was creepy. Yeah. Next slide. Maxine. Did anyone else see this besides me and Ricky?
I haven't even seen 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I'm sick of you.
I haven't seen 1 or 2, but I wanted to see Maxine.
I love Pearl, and I love
X,
and I really, this was one that it was just at the end of summer, and there was too many things going on that I just hadn't gotten to it yet. But I was looking forward to it because X and Pearl are so different from each other, and this I can almost foresee as it like merging, those two worlds colliding back and together, right?
Stylistically, no, it's separate. But as far as storyline, it is what you just said. Stylistically, this is 80s grunge glam because it deals with Hollywood in the 80s. So we seeing a lot of that type of fashion and energy versus Pearl, which was, I think, in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, and then that makes sense because it's all sort of shot in different, taking place in different decades. And it seems to the other 2 movies seem to take characteristics of that era of filmmaking. So,
especially X.
It sounds like this is.
X was straight up out of the 80s. So X was like pretty perfect. Maxine was okay for me. I didn't really like the ending, but
I thought it was a nice little twist. It took a long time to get there, though.
It did. I was more obsessed with she's an actress auditioning for a horror movie, and all her friends and all her friends and actors, friends and stuff that she gets to meet and experience, and the fashion. So all those things I was really excited about. And then the culmination was just okay for me. The movie was good. I do think it's the weaker of the 3. It feels like Scream 3, which is not shade because I like Scream 3. But as far as like an actress behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, like all that type of thing, being on set, it's all of that. Yeah. So if you like murder mysteries, I'm a slasher guy, Tom. So if you like slashers, you'll like this one too. And next.
Last one, I think. No?
It's What's Inside. Cam, tell us about It's What's Inside.
This is basically about a group of friends, and there is, of course, it starts off with this couple that are having relationship issues. They're not having the sex like they feel they should. Like some of them feel they should, and they have this stupid tension. And it deals with one of their friends getting married, so they're bringing everybody together for the bachelor party, I guess, the night before the wedding. And they all get together. They haven't seen each other in years, so they play that little catch-up thing. And there's this one friend who there was a scandal that occurred, and it affected their life in a very big way. They come to the gathering. Nobody was really expecting them to show up, but he shows up and he has a game. And the game that he has allows everybody to switch bodies. So it takes you on a journey of them uncovering hidden desires and secrets between the friend groups, and something unfortunate happens, and as you can imagine, things go a little bit awry. It actually was a very good take on the body swap horror side of horror genre. It was very refreshing. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time, and it really puts you in the space of the movie. So, like I said earlier, a good horror movie is one that just kind of draws you in and makes you kind of feel that moment just from the way that they shoot it. It really kind of makes you feel like you can't really keep up with what's going on, but it does it in a way where you don't feel lost, if that makes sense. It's like you're really in the moment playing the game with them. So it's kind of fun. Not kind of fun, it is fun. But I think everybody should watch it for sure. The ending, I personally am not a huge fan of blatant social commentary. I like it to be more subtle. But to me, I noticed blatant social commentary, and I was just like, gag me.
Not the Tron reboot.
Okay.
Okay, so I watched this too, and it was super fun. It was really psychedelic because, like, it feels like you should be on drugs watching this, so you can really like feel what they're feeling. Not saying they're all on drugs, but of course, it's a joint bachelor party, and people are drinking, doing drugs, and all the things. It just feels like to enjoy this movie even more, you need to be on their level because you were basically put in their spot from the lighting and the cinematography, how they did certain things. It was really cool. And if you've seen this movie called Bodies, 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 you seen that one, Tom?
Yeah, that's
this is the perfect double feature for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It too is centered around a game. And it's what's inside is also about a game, but that will spoil it. So you have to watch it. It's on Netflix. Jump in and enjoy it.
Yes, for sure. Very easy watch.
Any final thoughts as we wrap up this conversation on our top horror, especially from the ones who are walking slowly into horror and and starting to love it even more? So I would love to hear from like Ricky and Lucio from this year alone, right? It's just been crazy.
You muted, Ricky.
Sorry, I was doing typing. So for me, I've been doing a lot of this summer. I did a lot more movie watching. I have my little AMC like Premiere Plus account. So I've watched a lot of movies on purpose, and I'm starting to like dabble a little bit more. So I think that I've been interested in some more of the horror, not the torture stuff, not the
Terrifier.
No, I can't. I cannot. Not in the daytime, not at nighttime. No time at all. But some of the ones that are more like Maxine, maybe Long Legs is probably like pushing it for me. Is more my speed.
Okay, Lucio.
Yeah, for me, like it's, I mean, the Scream franchise was spectacular. I mean, we watched that for one of the episodes here, and like I said, I've been enjoying things that like when I'm done with it, like I kind of sit with it and oh, that was really interesting, this thing, and then like a couple days later, it's the same thing. I'm like, oh, what about this? And I've been really enjoying that. And I mean, along with that though, like my daughters have shown an interest in watching horror, and so it is kind of fun that it's also kind of a communal thing to do now too. Like I think I mentioned before, I watched 300 in the movie theater. I was literally the only person in the movie theater, as like the worst movie experience I've ever had. The movie was a lot of fun, but I was like, yeah, and you go look to cheer with your buddy next to you, and there's no one there in the entire theater. It's dead quiet. It's just me being like, yay, that's terrible. And so like having someone to be like, oh yeah, that's really cool, and then we my daughters and I are sharing whatever about it, their opinions, their thoughts. And it also is kind of interesting to see what things scare people.
Yeah. Agreed. Tom, Cam, what are we thinking about horror of 2024? Final thoughts.
I think that they need to be more original. There needs to be a lot more originality in horror. We don't want a bunch of reboots, and we don't want something repackaged that is literally a carbon copy of something else. If you're gonna do it, make it fresh, make it new. That's what is going to bring people in. They like stop playing on this whole nostalgia effect or this whole, oh, because it's familiar. No, people don't want familiarity anymore. We want something exciting and new.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Tom?
I think as far as like going into 2025, who knows what we're gonna get with that, right?
Mhm.
I agree with Cam, is that the reboots are getting tired, and I just know that the logic behind it is that you want to sell something that people are familiar with, but I don't. I want to be acquainted with something new. It's like I can only eat the same hamburger so many times before I want to change it up to a different hamburger, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's like I like or pizza, right? You have your favorite pizza, but you want to go have a different style or go to different someplace. And it just has never made sense to me for so many reboots and sequels that are just in theory money machines, but then don't end up even paying back out for what their cost was to make them.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the whole streaming platform has really given a great boost overall to horror movies in general, because they don't have to worry about making back their money from divvying out all the cans of film at in standalone theaters.
Mm-hmm.
You can stream it and make money, and people can repeat see it. And I think it's really a good option for the future of at least the genre in movie form.
You know what? I've never thought about how online streaming has and will impact the horror genre. That's really an interesting topic that I want to think about and chew on. That's pretty interesting. But I agree with you. I do think that, especially because horror movies start off being cheap, easy movies to make that entertain and help get people into the business. And so, but now the genre has exploded and it's become more than that to a degree. And so it will be nice to online works better because you can push out more content as much as you want. It's cheaper. I have a movie I want to recommend to everybody, and in the comments, it's called Milk and Cereal. Milk and Cereal is on YouTube and it's free. It's called Milk and Cereal, and cereal is spelled with an S, like serial killer.
Milk and Cereal.
It is a found footage film.
I don't like that cover.
Let me tell you something. This should have been on. If I thought everybody would have seen this one, at this point I should have. But if I thought everybody would have seen this one, I would have put this one on my list. And this is it's in my top 5. I just don't know where my top 5 is this year. It could easily probably be 2 or 3, maybe number 1.
An hour and 2 minutes. That's really interesting too.
That's what I'm saying. The budget was 55. Hold on. Because I was talking about the budget was so cheap and they made so much. It was just crazy. Milk and Cereal budget.
See, this is the kind of thing that I think is like, I mean, to Tom's point, is like, you can't put an hour and 2 minute movie in the theater. Like, that's never going to happen. They won't, like, no one's going to be like, okay, what are we going to like clean the theater every 65 minutes? We're going to get people popcorn. They're going to be angry that they like ate 3 pieces and it's done. You can't do that.
Nope.
I really like the idea that this is like, they use this opportunity to have a 62-minute film.
Right.
The budget was $800.
Wow. No way.
It says Milk and Cereal had an estimate budget of $800. The budget breakdown, the budget was primarily spent on hiring an actor and buying a camera, which was then sold for $100 profit.
Wow.
They could have saved that budget, like renting from the local university, and they would
absolutely. That's what I
mean. Then what would the budget have been? It would have been like $200-$300. That'd have been amazing.
But $800, and it's 2 classmates, Barker and Cooper Tomlinson. They made the film. $800, y'all.
That's great. All right, I'm watching this.
And then like the cool thing about this is that enough people end up seeing it, and then if the right people see it, then they can get in touch with the creators and be like, look, we want to give you a $800,000 budget.
Yeah.
And we're going to take this to the screen. And if it can be done in the right way, then you got almost another Blair Witch Project there, where it's got this really organic development that carries through, where the end goal is really to just have more people be able to see it.
Yeah, and that's all that matters, because if this is successful, now you just wrote your ticket.
Yeah.
And so you can make it free. And y'all, it's creepy, it's honest, and it's quick. And then it made me look at their other works. They're like a one-man show. They do this actor who plays the lead, his range just off YouTube videos alone is ridiculous. Please watch this movie, Milk and Cereal, please.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what that was my thoughts of 2024. Besides a couple of ones that I really enjoyed this year, horror just felt a little soulless and empty and a money grab, and I'm tired of it. But I'm looking forward to other movies that are coming out this year. November, we have Heretic with Matthew.
Oh, yes.
With Carrie.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, excuse me. Hugh Grant. With Hugh Grant, it's already getting dumb-ass reviews from the screeners. So it's on my list. It's about these two girls doing ministry door to door. And whatever he is, he's the villain. And I don't know what happens to them.
Yeah, but I've seen that preview several times over the summer.
Okay, so let's get that to our list.
Yeah.
And it's getting great reviews, y'all. But that's all I had. I had a great time. Tom, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us on Geeking Out.
I really enjoyed it. It was good. It was just like sitting, talking with friends about movies, which is what I like to do. So I really appreciate
you have an open invitation. Whenever you want to come back and hang out with us, let Lucio know. We'll set it up and you'll be here.
All right.
And you have a story coming out this Thursday, right?
Story. It's called Ode on a
Tommy wrote it.
Ode on a Passerine, and it's a Western story. It's a weird Western. It's not a weird Western. It's a Western horror story.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about it, but I hope that there are careful readers will pick up on, I think, some little special treats in the story. So I hope they do.
I look forward to
reading my writing group they did.
Where can we find it?
It's available for pre-order on Amazon right now.
Okay.
And I really was unprepared to plug stuff because I'm such a bad plugger at that. But I think we're actually having like a virtual launch, and which I could try to give to Lucio if you guys have the links. But it's through the Denver Horror Collective. So if anybody wants to go check out the Denver Horror Collective, that's who this anthology is from. We're a group here in Denver of writers and other horror creators, and and that's what it is. So you could find your way around to Frontiers of Fright through the Denver Horror Collective website, which is denverhorror.com, I believe is what it is.
Okay.
Might be, just look Denver Horror Collective.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. This has been so much fun.
Everybody, for having me on. I really appreciate it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Next week is our last week down the Witch's Road. We will be talking about the finale of Agatha All Along, and we will be closing out our spooky season with our final episode, which is
Lucio? Is it part two Electric Boogaloo? Is it the rest of the
Lucio, please.
Part 2 Electric Boogaloo? Are you kidding me?
It's Things That Bump in the Night part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, next week it's Things That Go Bump in the Night, featuring Electric Boogaloo.
I think it was it's witches, vampires, and werewolves. It's the parts that we did get to, which is the
vampires and the werewolves,
which will turn into vampires and werewolves and back to witches.
Right.
Probably. And Tom,
we're gonna go over Lucio's history.
Right.
Yeah,
We're
Tom,
gonna
you
go-
know, what's your vampire and werewolf history?
So Lucio will be leading that episode. Since
Oh,
we're talking
jeez,
about
great.
his people.
Do you guys want to talk about all the Universal black and white movies and what is it? The old Alucard, the original Dracula movie.
Yeah.
Oh, your coming out story. We love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
I love an origin story.
Yeah, we love a good prequel. Thanks. Nameless plug. Yeah. Well, this is Geeking Out, and I'm Tamon.
I'm Ricky Z.
I'm Lucio Man.
And I'm Caden.
And that's enough release.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And we are
Geeking Out.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Have a good night, y'all. See you next
Good night,
week.
y'all.
Bye.